Being a company based in Germany, it's only natural that every film made by Dingo Pictures were initially made for a German audience, and not just with culture, as we've explored previously, but also in language. Scattered throughout several Dingo Pictures movies are puns, references, and jokes that would make sense to the average German viewer, but, when adapted to another language, are lost in translation, especially given the dubious qualities of the script certain dubs of them have received. To help better understand the intentions behind Dingo's writing, we've gathered together a few examples that may have unintentionally slipped through the cracks. One such example of the clever wordplay in Dingo Pictures that often gets lost in translation can be found in the theme song of Wabu the Cheeky Raccoon. The song plays with the phrase dicke Bären, fat bears, and, at the same time, a bear is shown on screen. The pun arises from the similarity in sound between Beeren, bears, and Beeren, berries, in German, creating a double entendre where dicke Bären could be interpreted as big bears or, phonetically, as big berries. I love the fat berries. In the English version, this becomes I love the fat berries, and when the camera pans to a bear, the pun dissipates because bear and berry do not sound alike in English. This can be confusing for English-speaking audiences, as the visual punchline no longer matches the text, and the charming ambiguity is lost. The subtlety of humour, characteristic of Dingo Pictures, poses significant challenges for translators trying to convey the original spirit and wit in another language. The challenge is particularly pronounced because the joke is conveyed more through the visual presentation, the cut to the surprised bear, than through the dialogue, making it especially difficult to translate into English. In another Dingo Pictures film, Animal Soccer World, there is a scene involving some unusually dressed geese, which are called Hooliganser. This is a playful twist on the word hooligans, which is used both in German and English to describe unruly, violent fans, typically in the context of soccer. By merging hooligans with Gänse, the German word for geese, it creates a humorous blend. This wordplay relies on the phonetic similarity between Hooliganser and hooligans, but adds a whimsical twist by substituting the human troublemakers with geese. The humour arises from the absurdity of imagining geese as soccer hooligans, creating a funny and unexpected mental image. A potential English equivalent to this pun would probably be hooligeese, which might not be as smart of a pun but still rolls off the tongue well, would be understandable by a general audience, and was even used on Dingo's old English website. In Germany, the term Brillenschlange is used both literally to describe a snake wearing glasses and figuratively for people who wear glasses. Dingo Pictures creatively embraced this play on words by featuring a snake with glasses in their first King of the Animals film. This depiction humorously leverages the dual meaning of the term. On one hand, the unusual concept of a snake wearing glasses, and on the other, the colloquial, somewhat mocking term for people who wear glasses. The spectacled cobra, scientifically known as Naja Naja, or the South Asian cobra, is distinguished by a characteristic marking behind its head that resembles glasses. It is native to various South Asian regions and is known for its potent venom. Dingo Pictures' humorous take on this name creates an entertaining link between the animal and human habits by putting the creature in a typically human scenario, wearing glasses. Furthermore, the spectacled snake character in Dingo Pictures is noted for occasionally quoting famous personalities like Goethe or Karl Marx, alluding to the stereotype that individuals with glasses are often well-read. Similar animal-related synonyms for well-read people include bookworm and the German Leseratte, however, neither directly relate to wearing glasses. Dingo Pictures' inventive portrayal merges cultural connotations and the biological attributes of the spectacled cobra to produce humour that is suitable for children. In English, this play on words doesn't directly translate since there isn't a specific term that refers to the snake's pattern. A person with glasses is colloquially known as four-eyed in English. Trying to apply this joke to a snake would likely result in the bizarre notion of an alien-like snake with 4 eyes. In a scene from A Case for the Mouse Police, there is a statue with the inscription Julius Caesar, which is a play on words based on the similarity between the name Caesar and the German word for cheese, Käse. The idea of translating this into English as Julius Caesar plays on the same pun, using the English pronunciation and spelling of cheese. However, since this is a visual element drawn in the background and not spoken, directly translating or transferring this pun into an English version of the film may not have been possible in this way, unless any potential translators decided to call attention to it and translate it via subtitles. In a scene from the second of Dingo's 3 films centered on Easter bunnies, Neue Geschichten vom Osterhasen, the primary antagonist, Narben Joe, is sent to prison at the end of the film for his crimes. Specifically, he's sent to Alcatraz, a portmanteau of the famous Californian prison Alcatraz, and the German word Hase, meaning rabbit. The narration even specifically points out that it's supposed to be a jail exclusively for bunnies. The pun is easy to understand in German, provided you are familiar with Alcatraz, but trying to find a direct equivalent pun in English in this scenario would require a lot more thought, considering there aren't that many rabbit-related words that can directly fit into the word Alcatraz. If context was required in any case, translating the prison subtitle of Hasengefängnis or Rabbit Prison would probably suffice. Or you could potentially take a less direct approach to the pun and spin it around as something like State Bunnytentiary instead of State Penitentiary or something similar. Towards the end of the German version of Even More Dalmatians, there's a line that reads,
Der Inhalt einer Leberwurst bleibt für immer unerforscht,
which rhymes and translates to, the contents of a liverwurst shall forever remain unexplored. This line cleverly rhymes in German, combining a bit of humour with the mystery of what's inside liverwurst, a popular type of sausage. In the English dub, this was translated as,
the contents of a liver sausage will always be a mystery,
which maintains the meaning but loses the rhyming quality present in the original German. The translation opts for a direct approach to convey the sense of mystery surrounding the contents of liver sausage, but doesn't replicate the rhyming aspect, which often adds a layer of charm or wit to the dialogue in the original language. A potential retranslation could handle this sentence with slightly more care that would allow it to preserve its rhyme. Something like, a liverwurst's contents shall stay, undiscovered to this day. To summarise, translation is a tricky business, and localization even more so, especially if you're trying to adapt to Dingo's pun-filled works. Could you remember any more potential jokes that were lost in translation? Share your findings in the comments below.
And make sure to check out the new Dingo Pictures merch store, where we're now selling t-shirts and an official Waboo plush.